Hey everyone, Connie here, and today we are reacting to episode 1 of Steins Gate Zero. So, we are finally going to react to this. It came out yesterday, I believe, but I don't know why I'm wearing these at the moment. I don't need them yet. Oh, but, well, I was wearing them watching something just before. Either way, so yeah, this came out yesterday, and it's been a long time coming. The original series came out a long time ago, and this is sort of a sequel from what I've heard. It takes place in a specific world line, in which, oh, what is her name? Oh my gosh, her name is escaping me. It's a specific world line in which, Rintaro Okabe, or Howie Kiyoma, bleh, in which he is not able to save her. Not Mayuri, the other girl, the red-haired girl. I cannot think of her name right now. It'll come back to me as I watch. Well, they'll say it as I watch, but so yeah, it's a specific world line in which he's not able to save her. So I'm wondering exactly where this is going to go and how this is going to be different. Now, I will say off the bat that I do much drastically prefer the English dub of Steins Gate. The Japanese version is fine. It's actually well done. But I so vastly prefer the English one nonetheless. Mainly because of the likes of Tyson Reinhardt as Daru, as well as, of course, the incomparable J. Michael Tatum as Okabe. There's none better, let's be honest. But the voice actors who do their voices in the Japanese version are fine and all. That being said, that will have a factor into whether or not I continue reacting to and continuing watching this even. Because let's be honest, I might end up putting it on hold until the English dub comes out. However long that might be, I think it might end up being better for me. I don't know. We'll see. I might end up being okay with it though if the story's good enough. Now, outside of just the general premise of it being, again, taking place in a world line where Okabe's not able to save her, I don't know anything else about what this is going to contain. I assume it's going to contain all the same characters we've grown to love. We're going to have Okabe, we're going to have Mayuri, we're going to have Daru, we're going to have Ferris, we're going to have the girl who came from the future, whose name I cannot remember now. All of these characters we've grown to love. Mr. Braun and his daughter, of course. I assume we're going to have all of these characters that we've grown to love, but I also think there's probably going to be new ones, too. And if this is in a world line where he doesn't save her, how is that going to affect the entire thing with the main villains and the main plot going on with, I believe they were called Stern, I want to say? It's been a while. If you were watching my reactions and stuff when I was on the old channel, you may remember I did a reaction to the Steins Gate movie after that had come out on dub. And I enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as the series, I would say, but it was still good. Yeah, so I'm excited for this. I've been a fan of Steins Gate for a long time now. Not one of my more, I wouldn't call it my favorites by any means, but I like it. It's up there on my list. It's in, like, my top 25, I believe. I believe it's top 25. Either way. So yeah, I'm excited for this, and if I end up choosing to wait until the dub comes out, then I'll wait, and it'll still probably be good. But we'll see. Just as with the other Spring 2018 stuff, this is on a trial, kind of going in line with what I was saying. I will watch episode 1 today. If I like it, and if I think it's reaction worthy, I will continue. If not, if I think it would be better watching on my own, I will do so as well. And if I don't end up liking it and don't want to continue, that is an option. Or if I just want to wait for the dub, that is an option as well. So there's a lot of options here, but the big one you need to focus on right now, the big one that you need to worry about, is whether or not I'm doing it as a reaction. And if I'm doing it as a reaction, obviously I'm not going to wait until the dub, most likely. And I will tell you that by the end of this redirect, during my afterthoughts. Um, so that being said, thank you so much for tuning in today, and we're just going to get this started. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts, and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much once again, because I can just not stop thanking you. So thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I was worried about this. I was worried. It's been so long, and the movie, while good, felt a little like it dragged on a bit, and it felt a little like it was a little too serious in a way, if you understand what I'm saying. Because the original series had some comedy in it. It had a lot of great comedy. It definitely delved into the serious and more intense moments and plot points and everything, of course. But it had a little levity to lighten the mood. And the movie, I don't know, it felt like it was lacking a little bit of that. So I was worried going into this series that this would probably be a little more lacking as well, and maybe it wouldn't even be as good as I remembered Steins Gate as being. I was genuinely just concerned that this might not be as good as I would hope. This was phenomenal, though. Seriously. This is one of the best first episodes of this season. And though I doubt it's going to stay like that for the long run, it was a better first episode for the season than My Hero Academia Season 3. But considering what My Hero Academia Season 3's first episode was, basically being just filler recap, it was not that hard to say. I do believe that My Hero will be better overall, but as just for the first episode is what I'm saying here. It was really that freaking good. It reintroduced us to the characters without making it feel overly exposition heavy. Like, it didn't feel like it was just trying to tell us, oh, this character's like this and everything. No, it showed us. And a lot of people tout that idea of show, don't tell, and that exposition is inherently bad or something. I do not believe that. I believe that exposition, if delivered properly, can be good. But I also like to see when anime or movies or games or whatnot are able to do this by showing us. You understand all of these characters' personalities. You understand that Daru is kind of a lecherous NEET. You understand that Okabe is broken and a shell of what he used to be. Even if you don't know what he used to be, you can tell he is a broken shell of his old self. You understand that Mayuri's into cosplaying and that she's a happy-go-lucky, positive thinker, but that she also understands the seriousness of certain situations. You understand Suzuha. You understand all of these characters. You understand that Ferris is just adorable in every single way and needs to be loved. But in all seriousness here, this was just really freaking good. If a show, it didn't really give much of any exposition on who these characters were. And some people might say, oh, but then it'll force you to have seen the previous series to understand. And it's like, well, this is kind of a sequel series, so that makes sense. But no, you can understand who these characters are without knowing that. Now, I still think you need to see the previous series. Based on where this seems like it's going, there's information you need to know from the previous series to really get this. Otherwise, it comes across as kind of confusing in some ways. I mean, I know, of course, what happened before, so I understand what's going on here. I get the concept of this all. But if you have not seen the previous series, there's a lot of things that are going to confuse you. Like the time machine. What Okabe is so, like, broken about. All of these characters, their personalities and the way they interact with each other, why Okabe was so upset by seeing Moeka. A lot of this stuff you will not understand if you haven't seen the other series. And while on its own it may still be like of a good quality, you'll still be missing out on a lot of information, I feel. This is one of those times where you need to see the previous series. Like, just straight up. um, Unlike Tokyo Ghoul Re, which I feel you can understand a little more without seeing the previous series, it obviously will still make a lot more sense and be a little more. You'll get it even more if you have seen. But I think so far, Tokyo Ghoul Re you can watch on its own and still keep up for the most part. But this, no. So this episode reintroduces us to everyone, but also introduces us to something new. This takes place, as I said, in a world line where Makise Kurisu was not saved. If you remember from the previous Steins Gate, and I'm going to go into spoilers here, obviously. So if you've not seen the previous Steins Gate, honestly, you probably shouldn't be watching this. But I did say there would be spoilers, so yeah. So, in the previous Steins Gate, one of the key points, one of the entire reason that Okabe discovers time travel is because of Makise Kurisu, and the fact that in the first episode of the series, the original, she dies. And he discovers time travel, and originally to save her. And that's kind of a big deal, but in this timeline, he's gone through all of that stuff. Gone through all of the horrors and pains he felt in the first series. He's suffered all of these horrible fates with his friends, who he basically considers family. And he wasn't able to save Kurisu in the end. In this world line, in this timeline, he was not able to save Kurisu. And because of it, he became a broken shell of a man. He abandoned his mad scientist personality and became normal, which for him that's a big deal because he was never normal per se. And to see him just completely quiet and reserved and broken like this it's heartbreaking, because you as a fan of the series, as someone who's seen the original series multiple times, who has seen the movie, it's heartbreaking because I know everything he went through. I understand why he's like this. I get it. And honestly, if I were in the same situation as him, I wouldn't have lasted as long as he did. I would have been broken a long time before that. It also shows his strength that he was able to even last that long. The hell he went through, that was horrifying. Let's be honest here. Steins Gate is in general a science fiction series, but it definitely has some aspects of horror to it. Not like supernatural horror, not body horror, not slashers, but just psychological horror. The stuff he went through, just trying to imagine that happening to me, it hurts to even think about that. It's terrifying, mortifying to even consider something like that because of how intense it was. And that's good. That's really good, because it shows that the writers of this, and yes, it was adapted from a visual novel, so the writers of the visual novel and everything, they really thought that through and really gave it an intense, impacting feel, to the point where, yeah, it's going to get you emotional. It's going to get you invested in these characters. I love these characters. I love Okabe. I love Mayuri. I love Ferris and Ruka and Daru and all of them. I mean, to different degrees, sure, but I still love them all. And I don't want to see this terrible stuff happen to them. I mean, even just remembering all those times Mayuri was killed in front of Okabe in the original series. It's soul crushing in a way. So I understand and I get why he's so broken by this. He could not save the woman he honestly loved. Let's be honest here. It was made very clear in the original series. It was made very clear in the movie. He loved Kurisu. And in this world line, he was not able to save her. And that hurts him. That hurts him more than anything. Honestly, I'd say it even hurts him more than Mayuri's death. Mayuri's death sent him into a panicked state, made him go kind of crazy. And yes, that's terrible. I'm not trying to downplay Mayuri's deaths at all. But unfortunately, he didn't love Mayuri in that way. So it's a different kind of reaction. You get it? You get what I'm saying? The soundtrack was good in this. It didn't do anything like huge to stand out yet, but it was only the first episode and nothing really huge happened. We do have a new character though, and she's connected apparently to this American scientist who was connected to Kurisu. So in a roundabout way, she's also connected to Kurisu. So I'm wondering exactly where they're going to go with that. How is this new girl's storyline going to be brought into things? Like, who is she? And then, even further than that, how does she connect to Moeka? Because, again, in one of the timelines, at least one of them, Moeka was part of CERN. Now, I don't know if she is in this one. It's very likely and very possible. But if she is, then that could also mean that this girl is connected to CERN and could be a main villain, even. Which would be interesting. Not really much else happened in this first episode. It mostly centered around how broken Rintaro Okabe is. It mostly centered around him being a complete shell of his past self, as well as starting to set things up. So there's still a lot more for this to go. And I think this is something I want to see. And I don't think I need to wait for the dub for this. I think I'm invested enough already. And I'm invested enough to want to react to it. So, yes, Steins Gate Zero is another reaction series that I'm probably going to get massively behind on. As always. But yeah, so this is another one we're going to be doing. With the ones that are currently airing like this, I'm going to try to get to them week by week as they come out, just like I do with MLP and just like I've done with Star Versus and all of that. But per usual, there's no promises with this channel, so I'm not going to try to, like, guarantee that it's going to be that way. There might be a week where I'm a few days late, or even where I end up being a week late and have to, like, do 2 episodes at once, which wouldn't be terrible, but, you know. So yeah, I really, really loved this first episode. It really negated all my fears that I had going into this. It kept the comedy and levity there in a way that made it feel natural. Because you still felt the brokenness of Okabe, but at the same time there was still some lighthearted comedy, such as that moment with Ferris and Ruka going nuts over Okabe dating. The heck? But there was some lighthearted comedy, and it really helped balance it out. It didn't overtake the dramatic and intense stuff, but it helped balance it out, and that's how I feel it should be. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. Tell me what you thought of the first episode of Steins Gate Zero in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time. And don't just live for tomorrow.
just live in yesterday. Just be glad for